And they lived happily ever after. The end. Wait a minute. Why am I still here? That was the end of the story. I got the prince, the shoe fit, now everything will be better, right?
If anyone asks,
Right?
I'll tell them we both just moved on.
Well, apparently the narrator did not get that memo, because things did not get better. In fact, they got almost immediately worse. Turns out the prince never wanted to marry me after all. He was forced to propose to me because the public loved me. The kingdom was falling apart at the seams and desperately needed a happy occasion to pull it back together.
And with some luck their marriage may result in lower taxes.
My happiness was the victim's sacrifice to save it. Instead of romantic walks and candlelight dinners, the prince vanished into his room for long hours of the day and night, often with a cute maid. I was left alone. Was happily ever after too much to ask for? As the days turned into months, my world crumbled around me until I wished I was back with my stepmother and stepsisters. At least there I had no expectations for love. Nothing to get my hopes up before dashing them against the rocky ground.
Though at home they don't care, I'll be better off there, where there's nothing to choose, so there's nothing to lose.
Surely things had to get better. I just had to keep trying.
What happened to us? What happened to love? I've been saying to myself, be stronger. We can work it out. It's gonna take a little bit longer.
With no way of speaking to the prince, I tried talking to his father. He just patted me on the hand and told me he couldn't wait to hear the giggles of grandchildren ringing through the halls. I swear there was a bounce in his step as he left the room. Most days, I wandered the halls aimlessly, trying to keep the walls from collapsing in on me. My fairy tale ending was long gone. None of the tales ever mentioned what happened next. The woman, my fairy godmother, who had helped me prepare for the ball, had long gone out of business when she couldn't pay her rent. She was gone before I had the chance to thank her, or, for that matter, blame her for getting me into this mess. There is no one coming to save you. The voice had returned.
You can lose sight of it all. The darkness inside you can make you feel so small.
He never loved you, and he never will. Just like your father, he'll be gone for days on end, rather than spend time with you. I knew the voice was lying to me. My father had left me. He was a merchant. It wasn't his choice to leave me. It wasn't his fault he had died on one of his trips, leaving me alone. Forever alone. Spring came and went with no change. Out of my mind with boredom, I escaped from the palace and went to explore the village.
All these memories of you and me, blown away in the summer breeze.
The shouts and laughter of the children brought a sad smile to my face. A yell caught my ear. A woman was trying to pull a baby blanket from the hands of a girl about the age of 10. No, Mommy, I need it. Mommy, please. I can't sleep without it. I can't live without it. You need to let go and move on. Let go. Move on. It was as if my eyes suddenly opened to the world around me. When had I decided that I needed a man to rescue me, to make me happy? Before the prince and his stupid ball, I had plans. Plans for what I would do if I ever escaped from my stepmother and sisters.
I was fine on my own, made of steel, hard as stone. I know I have a heart because you broke it. I was so unaware that I could fall so hard, but what good
I wanted to be a cobbler. I wanted to make shoes. Children complained if their shoes weren't comfortable enough, easy to put on, or cute. Women were constantly wearing death traps for fashion that killed their feet. Designs that I had been working on while doing my chores for years flashed through my head. A particular shoe caught my mind's eye. Not a glass slipper, not a stiletto with dangerous height. A comfortable, supportive, fashionable shoe. When had my life become like a woman's foot? Just like the attractive agony of popular shoes, I had fallen into the trap of believing I needed someone to decide what was right for me, even if it tore me apart inside. No more. I was going to fix both problems, everyone's shoe needs and my happiness. I turned, striding back to the castle, ideas racing through my head. The sound of a man clearing his throat pulled me out of my thoughts. I glanced around, surprised to see that I had arrived. The prince was glaring at me with a "Where have you been?" look. I smirked. I didn't answer to him anymore. I pulled the garish engagement ring off my finger and threw it at him. It hit the stone above his head and ricocheted away. I couldn't care less where it landed. I walked through the castle to collect my shoes. After all, a girl deciding her own future needs to start somewhere. I was going to make my own happily ever after.